The year was 1972. I was 8 years old, living with my family in a modest 3-bedroom apartment on an Air Force base in Germany. The space was neatly divided. My parents had their room, my sisters shared another, and my brother and I claimed the last. 4 years we lived there, though at the time it felt like forever. Looking back now, I understand something I couldn't see as a child. My mother was under constant pressure. 4 kids, a confined space, military life. And those frequent outings she insisted on weren't just for us. They were her way of breathing. One memory from that time has never left me. It was a spring morning, the kind that feels like a reward after weeks of being stuck indoors. The rain had finally stopped, and my mother, preparing to host a tea party with her friends, decided it was the perfect time to send us outside. The park was alive, kids everywhere, parents watching closely, all of us released from the same cabin fever. But for me, it wasn't about the crowd. It was about freedom. The first thing I saw was the slide. Not just any slide. This was, in my 8-year-old mind, the greatest slide in the entire country. Long, fast, perfect. And I was going to be the first one down. I sprinted toward it, climbed to the top as fast as I could, and paused just long enough to wave, making sure everyone saw me. Then I launched myself forward. Halfway down, I felt unstoppable. Near the bottom, I understood everything. There was a massive puddle waiting, mud, water, and who knows what else, spread wide like a trap no one had bothered to warn me about. Too late. I hit it head first. Mud swallowed me whole. When I pushed myself back up, dripping and stunned, the entire park erupted, laughter, pointing. Every direction I turned, someone was laughing at me. I wasn't hurt, but I was furious. "I hate you all," I shouted, my voice cracking through the noise. Then I ran. Straight home. I burst through the apartment door without thinking, without remembering my mother's tea party. The room went silent for half a second. Then it exploded. Her friends turned, took one look at me, and laughed even harder than the kids at the park. That was it. "I hate you all," I yelled again, louder this time, and ran to the bathroom, slamming the door behind me. I collapsed onto the floor, anger boiling over into tears. I felt humiliated, alone, completely misunderstood. A soft knock broke through the noise in my head. "Mr. Houth, may I come in?" my mother asked gently. "Yeah," I muttered. She opened the door and stepped in, taking in the scene. Me, curled up in the corner, covered in drying mud, shaking with emotion. "What happened?" she asked. I told her everything. The slide, the puddle, the laughter, the pointing, the feeling of being the joke. And then the final blow, her friends laughing too. She listened quietly, letting me finish. Then she paused for a moment and asked a simple question. "Have you seen yourself?" "No," I snapped. "Go take a look," she said softly. I stood up, still fuming, and turned toward the mirror. And then I saw it. The reflection staring back at me didn't look like a victim. It looked like something out of a cartoon. My face was completely covered in mud, except for the bright whites of my eyes and my teeth. My hair stuck out in every direction, stiff and wild. I froze. Then I laughed. It came out of nowhere, breaking through everything I'd been feeling. "I look pretty funny," I said, turning back to her. She smiled, and for a few minutes we just stood there laughing together. Then she grabbed a wet rag and started helping me clean up. "I'm sorry," she said, "for me, for my friends, for everyone at the park. It wasn't right to laugh at you." She paused. "But maybe it would have been different if they were laughing with you." That stayed with me. When I walked back out, her friends apologized. They admitted they should have handled it differently. They even invited me to sit with them, but I had something else in mind. "I'm going back to the park," I said, and I did. When I got there, my friends checked on me right away. They apologized, too. One of them said, "If you could have seen yourself, you would have laughed." He was right. For the next 9 months, that story followed me. It was retold, relived, and reshaped into something we all shared. Not something done to me, but something we experienced together. And somewhere in all of that, I learned a lesson that still takes effort to live by. There's a difference between laughing at someone and laughing with them. One isolates, the other connects. It sounds simple. It isn't. But if you can get it right, even most of the time, you become the kind of person people want beside them, not across from them.